Thank you so much for finishing orientation. Hopefully it answered any questions that you have if you went through everything. This is always available to you as an ongoing resource. If you get stuck, if you get lost, you can pop back into orientation and check in on the structure of the modules, where to find things, etc. There are a few things I wanted to go over though before finishing this that don't really fit in to the rest of the orientation structure. So first of all, what I wanted to do is just take you on a quick tour of the Design Forward homepage. This is a page that I've been known to tweak as the program is unfolding, and I'm seeing people maybe needing certain things or wanting to find certain things. So a lot of this was built last summer during our first Davis grant season. At the top of this page, you will find a way to filter people's portfolio postings. So hearing what your colleagues are doing in Design Forward, a lot of what you but the best way to find that out is by looking at their portfolio. But going through the portfolio of everybody in the program would take forever. So this is going to show you the most recent work and allow you to also scroll back. You can search by the kind of thing that was created. You can search by the module that they're in. So if you're really interested in knowing sort of like the latest workbook submissions that people have done in the Care and Equity module, there you go, workbook pages for Care and Equity. So that's available to you as a way to just kind of keep on top of the work of your fellow participants. Then below that at the bottom of the page, we do have two views of the most recent annotations. So articles that have had recent annotations, as well as anything that's been commented upon recently. And that can include either discussion questions in a module, or it can include portfolio pieces that people have completed. So this is another way to just kind of stay abreast of what's new across the entire Design Forward community, not just in your module. Now, in your module, let's say you're in Care and Equity, your module has a homepage as well. And I just want to talk to you about what you'll find there. At the top of the page, at the beginning of every week, there will be a dispatch that will be sent out by the person who's kind of TAing or coordinating your module work. That'll either be me, Elm Forge, or I think Sydney Carpenter is going to be in her fellow role serving as a TA for one of the modules this summer. So this dispatch will go out at the beginning of every week. It'll call your attention to certain things you might want to look at, readings you might want to take some time with, stuff that other people have been doing that you might have missed. So that's a great place to just kind of find out what's going on this week. Below that, you can then explore within your module the most recent annotations, the most recent comments, again, either on discussion questions or on portfolio pieces in the module. And then you can also look at a gallery of portfolio pieces just from the folks in your module. So this homepage is a nice viewport of sort of like the latest activity just in the module that you are in. Then I want to take a quick jump over to the portfolio and talk about a few other features in here that you should be aware of. Make sure, please, that you have updated your portfolio, most importantly, with your hypothesis username so that we can track your annotations. If you're looking at the latest activity pages and you're not seeing your annotations, it's probably because you haven't told us your hypothesis username. So make sure you update that. We have two other features of the website that are a little bit newer. I added them last summer. One of them is Design Bites. These are sort of special portfolio pieces. They will add a post to your portfolio, and they're an opportunity for you to share sort of practical design practices or ideas that you have. So something that maybe you've done in a class, something you're planning for a class. And it's a way for us to kind of capture those design takeaways from Design Forward. So pretty easy to fill out, give it a title, describe it, tell us what type of thing you were designing, what it's related to. Tag it if you want with some of these tags that we use across the collab. If it's related to one of the modules in Design Forward, go ahead and let us know that. You can update an image, you can upload an image, you can upload a file, you can link to a website. That's just auto-completing with my username. And then you can do a little bit of a reflection. Tell us about it. You don't have to fill out all of that stuff. Fill out what's relevant to what you're trying to share. And then just like with all portfolio posts, you can choose whether or not to make it private or public. So those are design bites. The other thing that we added last summer is the ability for you to create a design forward highlight. And this is basically, I created this feature because people were saying, oh gosh, I saw something interesting that so and so said or did or shared, but I can't remember where it was. So your highlights, first of all, you should know, will show up on this page. So below my portfolio pieces, I have Martha's highlights, and these are the things that I highlighted from last summer. Um, you can create a highlight from scratch right here by just clicking on this link and filling out the form, but it's easier to do it when you encounter the thing that you want to highlight. Oops, I didn't mean to go back to the Colab website. Um, so let me go back to, I got to fix that little button, to design forward and jump into, let's just jump into somebody's, um, a portfolio piece. So this is something that Megan wrote, and you will see at the top of every portfolio piece a little highlight this button. That allows you to highlight this specific portfolio piece. And you can say, gosh, I really want to remember this thing that Megan did, and this is why. You can tag people who it's related to across the module. Um, you also can highlight comments that people make. So for that, you just click on the highlight this next to a comment, and that's also in discussion posts as well. The one thing you can't highlight are annotations because those live in Hypothesis. There's really not a way to do that. So those are design bites, those are highlights. And now I'm going to pause really quickly and I'm going to jump over to Teams and talk a little bit about that environment. All right, so in addition to the website, which is where all of our activity for Design Forward really happens, we also do have a channel in the PSU Teaching and Learning Microsoft team. This is a Microsoft team that the CoLab administers. We use it for all different kinds of asynchronous sharing and conversation, and there's one specifically for Designing Forward that you all have been added to. So you have access to this channel. The channel is a place for you to come for help. So we're not looking for people to share their work here, right? If you have something to share, put it on your portfolio. It's not a place to have conversations about readings. That's what Hypothesis is. It's not a place to have discussion about other questions. That's what our discussion questions are for on the website. But this is a great place for, like Laura Tillman on May 7th of this year, is the DF website down? If you run into a problem with the website, if you are having trouble with Hypothesis, if you're looking for advice about where to find something, please, please, please come here first. And the reason is A, somebody else may have already asked it, in which case your answer will be waiting for you. And B, if somebody else hasn't, somebody else might be wondering the same thing. So if you ask this here, when they come along, they'll find that answer too. We monitor our Teams channel. I would say I monitor it even more than I monitor my email, and I monitor my email a lot. So there's a good chance if you put something in here, you're going to get a response from us pretty quickly. Even if the response is, oh gosh, don't know what's causing that issue on the website, we're looking into it. We will let you know as soon as we can. So that's some final details about the website, some final details about Microsoft Teams. Please, please, please reach out to us if you have questions about any of this. And we look forward to working with you.